Hi everyone. I thought I would start this session with a little oracle read. The deck I'm using is Work Your Light. I will leave some information in case anybody's interested in the particular deck in the description box below. But while I was shuffling, 3 cards jumped. So they're the 3 cards that I have laid out, and they seem to be quite important cards because they talk about I think where we're quite aptly where we're at right now. The first card is Take a Break, and it says a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. Well, many of us can resonate with that because life isn't all about work, but for some it is, and I feel that there has to be a real balance between work and downtime. But at the moment we're in a climate where with the way things are, and I believe that everything's not quite as you would see. We know what we're going through, and I mean that applies individually and as a collective. Everybody knows what's going on globally. We're all aware of it. It's on our tellies, we're being told at every turn this is happening, that's happening. But in our own individual worlds it's a different story, and it affects everybody quite differently, home to home, family to family. So I feel that taking some time out and taking a break and having a breather is really important at this time. And I understand that some people have lost their jobs, but it's really important to take a step back and kind of reevaluate where we're at and what we're doing, and possibly what we would like to be doing moving forward. And so that take a break can apply to just taking some time out just to think things through, and gain a little bit more clarity on your own personal situation and where you are and where you would like to be and where you want to go. And then the second card is Leap. And it says you go first, the universe will catch you. So this is saying do not be afraid. And I feel that we're having fear pushed on us at every turn right now, and that it's a real thing. Fear can absolutely make or break you. Some people, they literally fly, living on the edge of their seat. That's what makes them tick. That's what makes them feel alive. But for others, fear is a real dark thing, and it's real. Trust me, it's real. So here it's saying, please try to not let fear rule your life, because I'm a great believer. I've been through many things in my own lifetime, but life is for living. And sometimes we do have to do things that frighten us, that do inspire us to try and push forward. And this card is saying, don't be afraid. Try not to be afraid. If there's something you want to do, if there's something you feel that you should be doing, if there's something that you feel where you should be in life, then go for it. Because life is too short, and it is for living. Life is for living. So that, I feel that's a really reassuring card, because it makes me feel that, be bold, be fearless, In a time where we've got nothing but fear surrounding us, be fearless, sort of find your inner strength, because it's there and we all have it. We all have that little inner light that keeps burning, and it's called hope. Hope for a better future, hope for a better tomorrow, and to find that inner strength, because it is there, and the more you seek it out, the more you push forward and you become stronger. And then the last card we have there is Warrior Woman, and she looks quite scary on that card with the sword, but let me tell you, this is talking about finding that inner strength. That sword is strength in adversity, which we're all facing. Let's face it, we literally are all in an adverse time. And the message on the card there says, have you answered your deepest calling? So this is really urging people right now to really dig deep, find that inner strength, however that comes. We all have it, and take time out to think about where you want to be, where you would like to be, because energy goes where energy flows, and we all need to just sometimes to take that leap of faith, to dig deep and find exactly where we are meant to be, because this little interruption that we're having right now globally is making us all reevaluate to some degree, because a lot of us have had things removed from our lives, and some people have had things added to their lives. It's been a real double-edged sword, and it's been very different for everybody. But the message here that I want to say is the universe is telling you, fear not, and go for what you really, really, in your deepest heart, that you feel you want to do, where you want to be, is giving you a chance to reevaluate everything. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Akasha card. And that says your guidance is divinely guided. I mean, how much more, can you be told by the universe, by spirit, that they're trying to help us get through this. They're trying to help us get through this time that is beyond anything anybody has probably ever truly lived through. Obviously of a certain age, we have had some truly horrific episodes throughout lifetime. But certainly in my lifetime, I've never experienced, personally speaking from my own personal experience, I've never experienced a time like this. And it is scary. And it does make you take a step back and think, okay, what do I need to do in order to keep moving forward? Where do I really want to be? And I would urge everybody to do the same, just to pause and reflect and find that inner strength, find that courage, because it's there within us all, to push forward through a time that is deeply a struggle for so many. It's but please find your warrior woman. It doesn't matter if you're male or female or in between. It really doesn't matter. Find that warrior within you to fight the good fight, because that's what we all need to be doing right now. There is strength in numbers, and we all need to come together, and we need to push forward for a better tomorrow, and not live in fear, and not be afraid all the time of what's coming or may not come to pass. We need to really take time and dig deep, because there will be a tomorrow and there'll be a day after that, and so on. So we all really need this time. If our lives have been put on pause, then we need to reflect during that period and find what is right for us. What doesn't work anymore, then it's time to leave that in the past and just keep moving forward. Please, please know that Spirit do have your back. The universe does have your back for the asking, but for the asking, okay? And I know this, I'm testimony to it. So I want everyone to know that that's such a positive message there. And I hope that, you can all really just take on board just what's being given to us. We have so much to be grateful for. Life can be cruel. Life is cruel. But we have to keep moving forward. As humans, as divine spirit, we have to keep moving forward and move forward with love. And we need to just spread that good word, love. Because love really does conquer all. Okay, I'm going to see now if Spirit will come forward and give me some messages for you, because I'm pretty sure everyone's waiting on that. I just wanted to give a little message there just to kind of set the tone, okay? For the longest time, since Spirit's been urging me to do this, I was given a female's name. Now, taking into account I'm in the UK, okay, so I'm not my geography is not great, so you have to forgive me, but I was given the name Debbie, and I believe Debbie lives I believe this place is in America. I believe it is in the States, and it was Wisconsin. Now, I don't know Wisconsin from my elbow, so this is like kind of a bit strange, but I do pick up anything and everything. I have very broad shoulders. Spirit give me they kind of give me messages that are not all love and light, sometimes they're deeply personal, and and so that would be specifically a specific read for somebody. But yes, I have this message is for Debbie, and Debbie, as I say, I believe she's from Wisconsin. Now, I have a man here, a male, but this man, he feels like a father figure, and he comes and draws him very, very close to her. He's waited some time to connect with her. So if anybody watching this, if they are aware of Debbie, and if this message isn't specifically for you, please take heart, because there's going to be many, many, many more messages that come in from Spirit. But I'm just asking at the moment, if somebody knows Debbie, and she does live in Wisconsin, and I know that that's probably a big place, but with the messages I come forward with more information, it should narrow it down more. I would love it if that person could pass on the message in case Debbie's not listening, in case she's not tuning in. It's really important, because I believe this to be her father, and he's waited some time, quite a lot of time, to come forward to her. You have to remember, not everybody is enlightened, not everybody goes for private readings, not everybody has the opportunity to connect with somebody that can bring forward a loved one. So it's really difficult, and Spirit do get quite frustrated because they have the need to connect, just like we do here. It doesn't change just because they're in Spirit. They still have that need to connect. And this man has the need to connect with his daughter. He keeps showing me Debbie as a young girl, and I keep seeing her on a bike. I don't know how relevant this is, but when I'm talking about a bike, I'm talking about a bicycle, not a motorbike, a bicycle. Um, and I feel her father was an active man. To me, he feels like he would have been in some form of building or construction work. Because he seems to be quite handy around the house. That's what he's telling me. You know, he could kind of turn his hand to most things. So she, okay. Um, it's okay. I'm sorry. He's just describing himself to me, you know, and I'm trying to listen as well as speak at the same time because sometimes they come in so quick. I feel that a dad would have been a fairly stocky guy. Um, I would say a little bit more on the stockier side rather than just a regular build. Like this guy had a bit of meat on his bones. I think due to the type of work that he did, it kind of gave him quite thick arms. And he does now show me what looks like a hard hat. So I'm definitely going for building construction, that type of work. He's showing me the type of road that they was living on, and it looks really wide. Now, here in the UK, we do have wide roads, obviously, but this looks like the houses are a good distance across the street from each other. Okay, and I can see what I'm assuming is his daughter, and she's riding up and down on the bicycle. I'm not sure what the relevance of that, whether that's just a memory from him or whether there's a specific reason he's showing me this. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she didn't have a little mishap on her bike, whether okay. I'm not sure if the bike is significant for something. Now, I don't know if his daughter had an accident on her bicycle, but he keeps showing me this bike and her on a bicycle. And I think at the point at which she would have had this bicycle was not a particular time as we do now. Our children, they wear the helmets, you know, to protect themselves. We do here in the UK, you know, children that go out now on their bikes, especially if they're, you know, out at the parks, any wooded areas, anything that's, you know, outdoor, they would be required to wear a crash helmet. But I feel like the period of time that he's showing me, that wasn't done. That wasn't the thing at that time. So I'm not sure if Debbie did have as kind of significant kind of accident out while on her bike, but he's drawing me very much to that period of time. Um, but this man wants to connect with her. I don't know if Debbie is in the best of health right now, and he tells me, wanted to reach out to her for some time, and um, I have had this with me for quite some time, but obviously, um, now I need to try and reach Debbie, because I'm not sure if she's actually in the best of health right now. And her dad, he shows me these big arms, and he's putting his arms around her. He wants her to know he's there for her. He's giving her this biggest. I'm actually going really cold with this because he's coming close to her, and he's wrapping his arms, and I can see these big thick arms there, these builder arms. That's what it looks like to me. They're kind of like builder arms, and he's just sweeping her up. He's giving her. I feel that Debbie might have a few health issues right now, and if she does, Dad wants her to know that he's with her and he's giving her the strength that she can get through this, that she can get through this. I believe that I feel that Debbie has a son because he's making me aware he's making me aware of what I feel is a grandson, and I believe this is his grandson. So, but he's also making me aware possibly that he's got a son, that Debbie has a brother. So I know there's a grandson there. It's either with Debbie, if she has a son, or it's with his son. But there is definitely a grandson there. And this grandson does a lot of travelling. He tells me he does a lot of travelling. There's a lot of travelling involved. I don't want a small child. I want somebody who's possibly in their 20s onwards, and this is the grandson that he's talking about, and he does a lot of travelling. I'm seeing the train, he's showing me trains. I'm seeing them going over what look like built up areas, like there's to me, I mean, I've never been to the States, so I really don't know, but it looks as if there's bridges and I can see the trains going over, but these are built up areas. These would be like cities and stuff like that. But I see him, so I feel like he does a lot of travelling. Is that, or he is a train driver? It's one out of the two, but I'm definitely getting, and I'm going really cold with that. So it could be that he does drive trains for a living, because I've literally just gone cold completely through my body. So when spirit do that, I know that that's a real positive to what I'm saying and what I'm getting. But this man, he's just drawing him very, very close to his family. But he wants to come around Debbie. He's really concerned. I don't know if the relevance is, as a child, that she had this mishap on her bike and her dad was really there for her, and he would have supported her and given her the comfort like a father should during that time. And it's making me feel that there's something very similar going on in her world right now, and she needs that same comfort. In fact, I know it is, because I'm going really cold again. And so her father is coming in like he did when she was a child and she had this mishap on her bike, and I think I genuinely think she did really hurt herself, and he was really there, that protector, and her father comes in again in the same way now, because I feel that Debbie does have stuff going on around her, and possibly with her health, that she needs that support, that comfort and the strength that her father would have brought in had he still been here. But what he wants her to know is he's with her. She's still his little girl, and he comes around her and he's giving her strength daily to get through whatever this is that's around her. He's giving her the strength. But he also brings in this grandson. He's quite proud of this grandson. So I feel that this grandson has achieved things that a lot of people didn't think was going to be possible for him. Now, I don't know what relevance that is to, but this is what I'm being given. But this man is a lovely man, totally family orientated, a real bear of a man. That's the only way I can put it. He's solid. He's got thick arms. He's quite thick built. And he would have taken charge of everything. And that's the feeling he's giving me now, that I want to take charge. I want to help. I want to support everybody. As things stand now, he really wants to come in and give that love and that care and the strength, because he was totally family orientated, but he was a real gentle soul. He, despite, I think he looked, quite. I got the word bear, so I think he could have that fearsome side to him, but he really wasn't. The people who knew him the best, he was just a cuddly bear, But to those who didn't, he could look like this ferocious bear, like he could really. And I do believe he could look after himself. That's the kind of feeling that he gives me. But he was very, very family orientated, totally and utterly family orientated. He's not giving me any names, and I do generally get a lot of names. He's not specifically giving me his name. Anything that's given to me like that, straight away I will say. I'm not sure he's had the opportunity to really come forward before now. I feel like he's been past a while. I feel we're looking, anywhere from sort of 5 to 10 years. I don't feel like this man has just recently passed. I feel this man has been in spirit for some time. And I believe this is his first opportunity to really come forward and connect. And he just wants to connect. He absolutely just loves his family. But I'm aware, and he's aware, that there is other spirit waiting to come forward. So I don't really want to drag this on too long, but bless his heart and, for coming forward. And I do believe that he will step forward again for his family. With the opportunity, God willing, he will come forward again, because he's really waited a long time to do that, to come forward. So if anybody can take any of that message, my email is, I will leave that in the description, and I would love to hear. I would love to know. And if anybody can pass that on, if Debbie herself is not listening, but please, if anybody does know this lady and some of that information fits, please pass it on, because her father is desperate to connect with his family, but at the moment he's focusing on his daughter, because I do believe there is quite a lot going on around her. Okay, so I'm going to say God bless to him and thank him for coming forward. There is a lot of spirit queuing up. I will do a couple more, and then I'll take a break. But I'm just trying to see. Okay, I have got a lady here. She said the name Alice. Okay, and she did say Uxbridge. Now, I'm aware we have an Uxbridge here in the UK, but again, I'm not sure. So please, anybody listening, just continue to listen, because it can be a name of a building. It can be anything. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a place here. So please continue to listen and see if there's any relevance there. Okay, this lady Alice, I believe that she lived quite a long life, from what she's making me feel. And she had a very active life, is what she's telling me. She had a very, very active life here. And she loved to be outdoors. She's telling me she loved to be outdoors, and she had many, many friends. I'm not getting the feeling that Alice had children. I think that her family were her friends, Um, and obviously, she really treasured her time with her friends. Um, but she's not making me aware of her physically having children herself. Um, she tells me she had a brother and she mentions the name Peter. And her and her brother were really quite close, but um, I feel she passed before her brother. So I don't know if Peter, I'm trying to see if Peter's here because she feels to me like she wants um, to connect with him. Okay. Uh, Peter, yes, Peter. She's making me feel that Peter is still here on the earth plane. So, and he does have a family, and they meant everything to this lady. Her brother's family meant everything because she didn't have children, but his children and his family were hers. She didn't see the divide. They were all as one. Um, this lady tells me that Peter lives near what looks to me like water, um, but I don't want an ocean. I'm not feeling ocean water, so I'm feeling that Peter lives near either um, a lake or an estuary or this type of thing. Water is relevant. I don't know if Peter spends a lot of time by the water, but I do feel that he lives pretty close. So I would imagine anybody living nearby to water, you're going to make the most of that and spend time, whether this is a lake or this type of thing. It's a fair sized body of water, so I'm not talking about a pond. I want something a bit more substantial than that. Um, she's telling me this is really. She's telling me that Peter's had problems with either his eyesight or he's had to have glasses or this type of thing because she's drawing me to his face and I can see that Peter is now wearing some rather nice what look like metal rimmed glasses, and he looks quite, she's quite impressed. She's laughing because she's saying, they make him look quite intelligent. So I don't know how he looked before, but that's the kind of thing. She's quite a jovial lady, and she's telling me that these glasses are really quite impressive on her brother. She's quite pleased with the way he looks, but she's saying, it took him a while. I don't know if her brother previously wore glasses or whether it's that he's only just got round to getting that eye check, because she's saying his eyesight, was getting quite poor. He really needed to do something about it. But this lady is very, very active, and she's showing me that she visited quite a lot of places, abroad. That's the feeling that she gives me. She had quite, she was quite well travelled. That's how she puts it, and she's very, very intelligent lady also, and she's got lots of stories to tell. That's how that was. I think her party piece was the storytelling and things that she'd seen, and everybody would be listening intently, like especially if she's had a trip away. I'm not sure whether it's her or her brother, but I'm getting that kind of feeling of being like a school teacher. Somebody would be teaching. It feels quite relevant. It could be possible that both her and her brother went into teaching, but she definitely makes me feel like she has this knowledge, and she would be passing on this knowledge. So it's kind of like a form of teaching. She could have been a lecturer. It could be anything along those lines, whether it's in a college, a university, but she really was quite a well-rounded lady, and her life was very, very full. And she says to me, I didn't miss out on anything by not. I don't believe that she had a life partner, and I don't believe that she had children. But she tells me that she didn't miss out on anything. She made the absolute. She lived a full life. That's what she's saying. Um, but I believe that her brother has what feels like. Um, I don't know. It feels like. Hmm. That's strange. Because she's saying that her brother, I see two sons, but one keeps being brought in and taken away. But I also get a daughter. So there could have been three children. Now, I don't know whether or not. Um, I'm not sure. That I'm going to go with there's kind of two sons being brought in. Um, but one keeps, it's as if I'm seeing a son and then I'm not seeing a son. So it's a bit strange. I don't know whether um, they would have lost a child, or whether it could be that there were um, two boys and possibly one may not have survived, or it could be a miscarriage. It's that type of thing. But I definitely get the two boys and then I get a daughter. So I'm looking, overall, I can definitely see a son and a daughter, but there's the possibility of a second son. But as I say, he's being brought in and then kind of removed again. So he's there and then he's not there. So that makes me feel that this child may not have gone full term, or may not have completely come to the earth plane. There is that feeling. That's how spirit give it to me. But she loved, she loved the kids, and she's I can see the daughter, and I feel that she sees with her brother's daughter, like her niece, she sees a lot of herself in her. I feel that this daughter would do a lot of travelling, and possibly she could be in teaching of some sort. So, she's really pleased. Alice is really pleased that feels to her like her mantle's being passed down. So she's really happy about that. Again, I'm going to try not to make these too long, because Spirit bless them. There is no time in Spirit, and when they start, talking, it can go on. And I want to try and reach as many as I can. It's very tiring, but I want to try and get as many messages out as I can. So I'm going to say God bless to Alice and thank her for coming forward. And let's see. But again, if anybody can take that and is able, again, if these people are not watching, or they don't see this, or for whatever reason, if anybody can take that, please pass, the message on. Alice said before she goes, she's sending all her love to her brother and his family, and that she misses them. She misses them, but she's fine. She's okay. She's good. And now I'm getting, let me see. Okay, I have a gentleman here, and he's just said the name Jeff. And he spelt it for me. So I think he was a bit of a stickler for he's he said JEFF. So he would have been somebody who would have been a stickler for details. Okay, Jeff, I've got that. JEFF. He's not bringing in any, a particular place. I'm just seeing who he wants to connect with. There's a female. It's a female that he wants to connect with. And he did now. I feel that this is his wife that he wants to connect with. Jeff wants to connect with his wife. Now, he did give me a name, but again, this name doesn't necessarily mean this is his wife's name. It can be somebody who else he's connected around him, and it just builds a bigger picture to who this person is. Spirit will do that. They'll give me names and they'll give me details, but it doesn't necessarily correlate with the person that they want to connect to. It just builds a picture of who this person is. The more information, the better that it is. But Jeff did mention the name Sandra, but this doesn't mean this is his wife's name. Okay, he's just put that out there, so we'll see. But he wants to connect with his wife, and I feel that his wife is still here on the earth plane, and he's making me aware of a move, a house move. Now, I'm not sure if they just had a house move just prior to him passing, or whether it is that his wife has since moved since he's passed. But I can see what looks like a conservatory on the back of this property, and I do see his wife sitting in the conservatory. Okay, I think she has a lot of time to reflect, a lot of time to think, and Jeff is telling me that he sits with her, I think that his wife likes to read. He's showing me books, so I think his wife is quite an avid book reader, and she spends time in the conservatory. I think he's saying to me this was part of the draw to buying that property for the move, because she wanted to feel, to me this conservatory was the selling point for her. Okay, because she could, it's kind of like, it kind of sits outward within from the property, so she feels like she can see around in the garden and the area outside, and she feels part of that in this conservatory. That was a selling point. Jeff tells me that this was the thing that really drew her in to this property, was this conservatory. He talks a lot about this conservatory, so I feel that if his wife absolutely spends the bulk of her time in this conservatory, but he wants her to know that he sits with her. He sits in the quiet. He takes in the peace that she's feeling, because I think that his passing really wasn't a long drawn out thing. I feel like I'm just trying to ask him, I feel like Jeff, it was very sudden. I don't feel like there was an awful lot of time prior to his passing to sort of, I feel as if what he's saying to me is, he gives me the feeling that he just didn't feel very well. One morning he just didn't feel very well, and things kind of descended from that point. So there really wasn't an awful lot of time for anybody to kind of, take stock of the situation, really. Jeff makes me feel that he went quite quickly. He's telling me there was no long drawn out sickness, illness. He does make me aware he was in hospital, but I don't feel like he was there for very long. That's the feeling he gives me. But he talks about his wife and, her life, she's trying to adjust. He's saying 2 years. So I don't think that Jeff has been gone for that long. He's telling me 2 years. 2 years. But his wife feels like it's a lifetime, because they really were deeply compatible as a couple. He's making me feel I don't know if his wife is retired, or she's now at home a lot more. He makes me feel that. But I don't feel like she has as many visitors as what he'd like. I don't know I feel that they have children, but I don't feel that the children live very close by in order to just pop by or pop round. And his wife's adamant that the kids have got their lives to live, and so she's just getting on with everyday life. But Jeff is aware that, you know, she is struggling. She is struggling and spends quite a lot of time in solitude. That's how he makes me feel, that this is why he draws around her, because she'll just immerse herself in a book, and that's, you know, that's her day almost gone at times. This is what he tells me. He's telling me, I don't know whether he's kind of like, he's showing me a dog, but I feel that they did have a dog. Now, I feel like the dog went to Spirit, but he wants to give his wife another pet. He's talking about her needing to have company. Company, wants to give her company, and that company comes in the form of a four-legged friend. And this is what he's saying. He's telling her that he wants her to have another pet because he feels it would get her out of the house more, so that she could, you know, have something to go for walks with. And, you know, he's worried about her. He's really worried about her because he sees in the 2 years that he's been gone that she's become quite reclusive within herself. She's not as outgoing as she was, and I completely understand that. But you see, Spirit will try to help you as much as they can, and he wants to help his wife. So if anybody can take this message, you know, please relay it, and if it resonates for somebody, then take this with all the love in the world, because, you know, Jeff is just wanting to connect here, and he wants to connect to his wife, and he wants her to know that he's with her, know that he sits with her in the evenings, and he's there with her in the day, and, you know, and really, I personally, the way it feels to me is that he's never really left her side, because it was such a shock with him going. It was quite sudden, and so I feel this lady is still trying to adjust her life. She will. He's saying she will, because if Jeff has anything to do with it, she's going to keep living, you know, for whatever time we all have. You know, it's like he wants her to live her life to the best, to the fullest, but he wants her to get this pet. And I think he's more adamant about a dog because he wants her to get out of the house more. And, you know, as we all know, we don't generally take our cats out on leashes for walks. That's not to say there isn't some that do, but obviously, you know, he wants her to have a little dog because they did. He's telling me they had a dog before, and, you know, they loved it. They would go on walks and, you know, and do stuff with this dog. This dog would go everywhere with them, and he wants her to have that again. He also just threw out the name Julie, so I don't know if Julie is relevant around him. And as I say, Sandra. Now, Sandra doesn't necessarily have to be his wife's name, but it can be relevant to either his wife or around within the family. He's kind of stepped back there now. And again, some of these people that I'm bringing forward today, they've not had the opportunity to come forward. And sometimes you just have to help them a little bit, you know, if they've not been able to come forward before now. You know, it takes a lot. It takes a hell of a lot. And you just have to help them with that. But you'll find on varying degrees, Spirit, if they're more bolder, if they've had opportunity previously to come forward, they will be that bit more forward. You know, if they've done this before, it just takes a lot. It takes a lot. But I just want to send out all the love. I'm going to leave it there, because Jeff has stood back now, and I thank him for coming forward, and I'm sending love to his family. But I don't want this to be too long-winded, and it also takes an awful lot of energy as well. And as it's my first kind of video, you know, I want quality, not quantity. I want quality. I want to be able to give quality in the messages that I bring forward, because it's really deeply important to me and to Spirit. So I'm going to thank Spirit, and I'm going to do a closing prayer when I get off of here. But I will be back, and please stay tuned, because if there is somebody that you want to connect with, know that they're there. It is but for the asking. And, you know, Spirit try all the time in many ways to let you know that they're around you, that your loved ones are there, and they are with you, and they are around you. But sometimes, you know, life gets in the way, and sometimes the signs that they send can be so subtle that we do miss them. And I know this because, you know, I've had this happen. You know, I will talk more about my experiences, and, you know, as time goes by, I will talk more about stuff. But yes, Spirit never cease to amaze me. They truly are amazing. You know, they just never fail me. They've always been there for me all of my life, and so I feel really humbled that I'm able to do their work, and to, you know, to have this connection. It means everything to me. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get off, and I'm going to do my closing prayer. But please, don't lose heart. If there hasn't been a message there for you now, I'm going to be doing regular uploads, because Spirit don't really let me rest that much. If I'm not dreaming and I'm not picking things up, it's an ongoing thing. And so I want you to know that there will be other messages. And if I get things when I do come away from here, I'll be sure to jot stuff down, because now that doorway's open, it's, you know, it comes in, it's like opening a floodgate, really. But I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope that you've enjoyed the messages, and hearing some loved ones coming forward. But please don't lose heart, because there will be lots more messages to come, and a lot more other bits and pieces that I do want to incorporate. This is just, you know, bear with me. This is really new. You know, I'm not quite used to working quite this way on camera, and it's quite daunting for me, and I need to get used to it as well. But thanks for being here. I truly appreciate it. And the support as well, because, you know, there has been a large number of you that have, you know, stayed with me, and I'm truly grateful for that. And I hope that I'm able to, you know, bring something for everybody. But like I say, I want to, it's quality. It's not quantity, it's quality. And now Spirit have got me doing this. I'm really, you know, I really want to bring us forward as much as I can, and there'll be other things that I will be doing as well. Okay, but I'm going to leave it there. God bless you all, and you know, keep the faith. You know, don't give up hope. Don't give up anything at this point. You know, hold on to all that you hold dear, because life is moving forward. Okay, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care, and God bless.